All right, listen up. Give me just 10 minutes, 10 tiny minutes, and I'll prove to you that you, yes, you, are basically a superhero. No, you don't need a cape. No, you don't need radioactive spider bites. Although, let's be honest, that would be kind of cool. All you need is to stick around till the end of this video, and I guarantee you'll walk away seeing yourself in a way you never have before. Too good to be true? Think again, because by the time I'm done, you'll realize that the things you thought were just ordinary parts of your life are actually proof that you are way more powerful than you ever imagined. And here's the thing. Most people go their whole lives without ever realizing this. They think superheroes are only in comics and movies, that power is reserved for those with capes and gadgets, but not you. Today, we're breaking that illusion. Think about it. What makes a superhero? Is it just the ability to fly, shoot lasers, or lift buildings with one hand? Or is it something deeper, something more human? Superheroes don't become heroes because of their powers. Their powers are just tools. What makes them heroes is their heart, their will, their drive to make a difference, no matter how impossible the odds seem. And that's something you already have. What if the biggest superheroes in history weren't wearing suits, but were everyday people making an impact? People who sacrificed, stood up, and chose to do the right thing, even when no one was watching. That's the essence of real heroism. It's not about how flashy you are, it's about the choices you make. Let's do a quick test. Have you ever helped a friend when they were down? Have you ever kept pushing forward even when things got tough? Have you ever woken up at an ungodly hour for work, school, or just to hit the gym, even though every part of you just wanted to stay in bed? If you answered yes to any of those, congratulations. You already have superhero-level traits. And we're just getting started. Superheroes aren't just the guys in capes fighting aliens in space. They're the people who show up, push through, and make a difference, even when nobody's watching. And you're already doing that. You might not have realized it yet, but your actions, your persistence, your ability to keep going when everything in you wants to quit. That's what makes someone truly powerful. Now, let's break this down, because I know some of you might still be skeptical. First, let's talk about strength. When we hear super strength, we think about lifting cars or throwing villains across the city. But strength isn't just about muscles. Real strength is waking up every morning and choosing to keep going, even when life feels impossible. It's handling stress, heartbreak, and failure, and still pushing forward. Have you ever had a bad day but still managed to be there for someone who needed you? That's strength. Have you ever faced a huge obstacle and somehow figured out a way to get through it? That's strength. And let's be real. Life throws some pretty nasty punches. Maybe you've lost something or someone. Maybe you've been told you weren't good enough. Maybe you felt completely lost, like there was no way forward. But here's the key. You're still here. You're still standing. That's superhero level endurance. The superheroes we admire in movies, they struggle, they fall, they doubt themselves, but they keep going. And so do you. That's what makes you powerful. Strength isn't about never feeling weak. It's about acknowledging your struggles and still choosing to move forward. When life pushes against you, when the world feels like it's collapsing, your ability to hold your ground, to stand firm, is what makes you extraordinary. It's easy to keep going when everything is perfect. But true power lies in moving forward when everything is against you. That's resilience. That's inner strength. And that's your superpower. The human mind is wired for survival. But intuition isn't just about staying safe. It's also about recognizing opportunities, knowing when to take risks, and being able to read between the lines. Intuition is that inner voice, that deep feeling in your gut that often knows the answer before your logical brain catches up. And yet, how often do we ignore it? How many times have you looked back and thought, I knew I should have done that, or I knew something was off? That's because your subconscious is processing information faster than you realize. Your brain is constantly picking up subtle cues, reading body language, noticing patterns, and calculating risks without you even being aware of it. It's an advanced, built in guidance system, and the more you trust it, the more refined it becomes. Some of the greatest minds in history have credited intuition for their success. Albert Einstein himself once said, "The only real valuable thing is intuition." Steve Jobs believed intuition was more powerful than intellect. And if we look at history, some of the boldest decisions, the ones that changed lives and industries, weren't made purely on logic, but on a deep, internal knowing. That's the same force at work inside you. Maybe it's telling you to take a leap of faith, to walk away from something that doesn't serve you, or to seize an opportunity before it slips away. Superheroes don't always rely on gadgets or brute force. They rely on instincts, on quick decision making in the heat of the moment, on knowing when to strike and when to hold back. And you have that very same power. Have you ever met someone and immediately felt something was off, even though nothing seemed obviously wrong? That's your intuition flagging something your rational mind hasn't processed yet. Have you ever felt drawn toward a particular path or decision without being able to explain why? That's your subconscious aligning with your deeper purpose. The best part? The more you listen to it, the more precise it gets. Think of it like sharpening a blade or honing a skill. Practice strengthens it. So next time that gut feeling kicks in, don't brush it off. Trust it. Because that's your inner superhero, working in ways you don't even realize. Now let's talk about the power of influence. Superheroes don't just save the day, they inspire people. And whether you know it or not, you've inspired someone. Maybe you stood up for a friend when they needed you. Maybe you helped a stranger without expecting anything in return. Maybe you just kept going when others would have given up, and someone watched that and thought, if they can do it, maybe I can too. You don't need a massive platform or millions of followers to be influential. You just need to be you. Think about the small moments, the words of encouragement you gave someone without realizing how much they needed them, the way you carried yourself through difficult times, showing strength even when you felt weak. Influence isn't about fame or recognition. It's about the ripple effect of your actions. Every time you show kindness, every time you refuse to quit, every time you prove that it's possible to keep going, you're influencing someone. You're changing lives without even realizing it. That's what real heroes do. They don't wait for recognition. They don't need applause. They just do what needs to be done, because that's who they are. Let's not forget one of the most underrated superhero abilities, healing. No, you don't regenerate like Wolverine, but have you ever been through something that felt like it would break you? Heartbreak, failure, loss, rejection, things that left you feeling like you'd never recover? And yet, here you are, stronger, wiser, still standing. That's a healing factor right there. It's the ability to go through pain and come out the other side. You've done it before, and you'll do it again. So now let's put this to the test. If you've made it this far, you're already proving me right. But let's settle this once and for all. Think about the most superhero thing you've ever done, big or small. Maybe you stood up for someone when nobody else would. Maybe you pushed through a tough time when you thought you couldn't. Maybe you just kept moving forward when everything in you wanted to stop. Whatever it is, drop it in the comments. The truth is, you don't need a mask, a cape, or superpowers to be a hero. You just need to show up, keep pushing, and use what you've got to make the world a little bit better. And you're already doing it. You've done it before and you'll keep doing it, even if you don't realize it. That's what makes you powerful. That's what makes you extraordinary. And that's why I can say without a doubt that you are in fact a superhero. So go out there, superhero. The world needs you.